Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Broncos live post-game show. I'm Phil Milani alongside Andrew Mason. The Broncos lose a tough one, 23-20 against the undefeated LA Rams. We'll be joined by Matt Boyer live inside what must be a very frustrated Broncos locker room because Broncos played well in this game at times, but just couldn't put together a complete game.
Yeah, I mean, they fall behind 20-3, and it was just too deep a hole to get out of. Nice comeback in the last quarter, plus turning 20-3 into 23-20, but still, there was opportunities that were left uncapitalized. Go the first half when Emmanuel Sanders catches the pass off the play fake from Case Keenum. They're down at the 1 yard line, but he has the penalty. It knocks him back to the 16 after the replay reversal, and then they have to settle for a field goal. Later in the first half, they get to the 35. 2 holding penalties knock the Broncos back into their own territory. That cost them a chance for points, and when you end up losing 23-20, it proved decisive.
Yeah, all the points are so crucial for this Broncos offense. We'll hear from head coach Vance Joseph live at the podium in a little bit, but first, let's show you the highlights. Let's show you how this game unfolded. The Broncos, it was a low-scoring game in the first half. Broncos pass rush really came alive in this game, sacked Jared Goff 5 times. Bradley Chubb had 2 to close out this first half. He finished with 3 in the game. The Broncos were down 13-3 at halftime. It was 20-3, like Mace said earlier in the third, when Darian Stewart got a lucky bounce. Bounces off the helmet, falls right into his lap. His first interception of the year, and the Broncos were in business. Emmanuel Sanders took advantage of it. He had 7 receptions for 115 yards, by far and away the Broncos' best wide receiver today. That touchdown cut the Rams' lead to 20-10, but Todd Gurley was just too much for this Broncos defense today. He ran out the clock in the fourth quarter. He had more than 200 yards in the game, and the Broncos end up losing 23-20 on Sunday. Mace, this is the second time that a really good team, undefeated team, came into Mile High and walked away with a narrow victory.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos pushed them late. It's kind of the opposite of the Chiefs game. Broncos take a lead there, end up losing it late. This time the Broncos dig themselves a huge hole, couldn't quite complete the comeback. I mean, you got to figure out how to play 60 minutes against these types of teams if you're going to succeed. You talked about Todd Gurley, 208 yards on the ground, rampage through the Broncos, no pun intended. And this is 2 consecutive weeks the Broncos have allowed a 200-yard rusher. Until today, according to Pro Football Focus, they hadn't even had a season in which they allowed 2 200-yard rushers, let alone in back-to-back games. That's a big concern for the Broncos right now.
Does it seem like for this Broncos defense right now, it says, hey, if we're going to defend the pass, we're going to give up the run. If we defend the run, we're going to give up the pass. It seems like an either-or situation right now for this defense.
Yeah, it's almost like you're trying to plug one hole and then another is springing up. It's what my partner on the radio, Ryan Edwards, calls leaky boat syndrome. You try to get one hole plugged, but next thing you know, water's coming in the other direction.
It was a cold day here in Denver, 23 degrees, the second coldest game ever here in the months of September or October. Mace, did that have any factor on why this game was lower scoring than we expected?
I don't think so. I think the thing that would have concerned me is if it had been a windy day, but the winds were light, about 5 to 8 miles per hour throughout the game, and that really didn't affect what the teams were trying to do. Maybe the ball was a little bit hard, and the Rams didn't really have the passing game they wanted, but they still had good balance. And the thing with the Rams that makes them so tough, and it's a big part of the reason why they're 6-0, why they've been successful the last year plus with Sean McVay, is that if you take away the pass and limit that, they'll beat you on the ground. If you take away Todd Gurley, they'll beat you through the air, sometimes with Todd Gurley catching the ball out of the backfield. It's a pick-your-poison equation with this offense right now.
And we knew coming in, Jared Goff was so dangerous, led the league in passing yards, but the Rams actually ran the ball more times today than passing attempts. Was that surprising to you at all, Mace?
Not considering the game flow, because they were ahead and because it was working. Todd Gurley was gashing the Broncos repeatedly, getting double-digit runs at a pretty rapid clip. I mean, they were even getting runs from their other backs, and even Jared Goff had a 13-yard run in this game.
A crucial run late in that game.
Yeah, it was huge.
I believe that was a third down.
So you had Goff with a 13-yard run, Robert Woods with a 12-yard run. Robert Woods, in the Rams passing game, he was the guy they leaned on. Of course, he had that final third down catch and run when the Broncos had them in 3rd and 13. He picked up 19. That allowed the Rams to get another Cairo Santos field goal that proved decisive.
Well, this Broncos defense, it wasn't all bad. The pass rush came alive today, and this Rams offense had scored 30 points in every game this season. Until today, Broncos hold them to 23 points. Matt Boyer is standing by inside the Broncos locker room with Bradley Chubb, who had 3 sacks today.
Thanks, Phil. Welcome into the Broncos locker room. Bradley Chubb standing by, and Bradley, a 3-sack game for you. I know the result isn't what you wanted, but what enabled you? How did you get into such a rhythm today?
I'm just being around great teammates. You know what I mean? On one of my sacks, Adam Gossett said it like the perfect pick. It was easy to come around. So I mean, just being out there with those guys and having, you know what I'm saying, pressure from the other side, and Shane making the dude step up sometimes. So it was a overall team effort. But I mean, we didn't, like you said, we didn't get the outcome we wanted. So just back to work.
D. Stu gets that pick in the second half, and you guys are right back in it. Did you feel like the momentum had flipped at that point?
Yeah, for sure. But we just got to keep riding that momentum and keep making those plays. But it was definitely a momentum shift when he got the pick, and we got to finish off strong.
Last thing for us, how do you flip the page? Short week now, Arizona, really quick turnaround on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, just got to get over it tonight. We got to go back to work tomorrow and just make sure we do all the right things, doing our job, and hopefully we come out with a win.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
All right, Phil, we'll send it back to you on the field.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yeah, coming out party for Bradley Chubb. Jared Goff coming into this game had only been sacked 6 times this season. He was sacked 5 times here today, so the Broncos pass rush coming alive. On the other side of the ball, Mace, you would hope that this Broncos offense was going to score more than 20 points in this game, I think.
Certainly, and the Rams' pass defense came in struggling. The Broncos did make some things happen, particularly late. I mean, if you're looking for something promising, I would say point to the work of the play action. The Broncos didn't run the ball very well today. They kept at it at times, had to go away from it in the fourth quarter, but you could see they were continuing to try to probe the Rams, try to get some jabs in there, even though they weren't getting long runs, and that set up plays like the play action that Keenum hit Sanders on that was originally a touchdown before replay, like the pass to Demaryius Thomas that got the Broncos out of a real bad situation at their own 2-yard line in the third quarter. We've talked on Orange and Blue 760 on First and 10 about how Case Keenum has been one of the most effective play-action passers in the league over the years, and maybe the Broncos will do more of that going forward after the success they had today.
Well, this Broncos team fought all the way until the end. Let's go again once inside the Broncos locker room where Matt Boyer is standing by with Will Parks.
Thanks, Phil. Welcome back inside the Broncos locker room. Will Parks with me now. And Will, I know the result isn't what you wanted, but when D. Stu gets that pick, do you feel like the momentum flips in your guys' favor? Because you guys are right back in that in the second half.
Yeah, definitely flipped. T-Brock made a hell of a play tipping the ball. D. Stu, with awareness, coming down with it was a big play for us, especially down in the red zone. But at the end of the day, we got to, when we get the ball, we got to score, and capitalize on that possession. But that was a great play overall.
These last 2 games at home, the Chiefs and the Rams, 2 of the best teams in the NFL, close losses. Do you guys feel like you're right there? I mean, a couple of plays and this thing's totally different.
Yeah, but everybody know we're right there. We definitely as a team feel like we're right there, man. We got to find that one thing that's, that's kind of holding us back as far as getting back in the win column. And as pros, that's what you do, man. You go in the locker room and you fix your mistakes and you find that one thing. That one thing is hiding from us. We just have to find it and get it. But we'll be good, man. Like I said, I'm always going to be in positive spirits. We played good as a whole on all 3 phases. On all 3 phases, though, we just got one more thing we just got to find. We just got to find it.
Well, appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
All right, Phil, we will send it back to you on the field.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yeah, we're here back on the Broncos live post-game show. The Broncos fall to the LA Rams 23-20. A very frustrated Broncos locker room as they fought all the way to the end. Mace there. Did you like the fight from the Broncos, at least to show, hey, we're still playing hard?
Oh, yeah, they were persistent. Certainly you had that interception late in the third quarter that really got them going, really galvanized them. In the last quarter, you can point to some things and say, okay, these are building blocks, especially with a short turnaround. You're not really going to have extensive practices this week, so you're kind of relying on what you do this game to propel you over the next few days. So certainly I think that helped. It was good to see Emmanuel Sanders back over 100 yards again. Good to see Cortland Sutton get involved in the offense. I think there are some things you can build on going to Arizona and then Kansas City a week and a half after that to try to get this season turned around.
The Broncos fall to 2-4 on the year with the loss to the Rams, and a quick turnaround. The Broncos play on Thursday Night Football in Arizona. But let's go back inside the Broncos locker room where Matt is standing by with Royce Freeman.
Welcome back inside the Broncos. Thank you, Phil. We're standing by with Royce Freeman and Royce. First half, it wasn't what you wanted, but second half, you guys get some momentum. D-Stu gets that pick. The offense starts to pick it up. You guys are right back in it. How close did you guys feel like you were in that second half?
Always feel like we have a chance, man, especially with the weapons that we have on offense. We're just one play away. And Stu made a big play for us, got some momentum back for us. And, I mean, like I said, we always feel like we're close.
With the short week now, how do you turn things around quickly? How do you kind of flip that script to Arizona?
Yeah, just making sure that we get back in the film room, see what we have, and correcting what we have to.
Royce, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Phil, we'll send it back to you on the field.
Thank you very much, Matt. And that's going to do it for us for now. The Broncos fall 23-20 to the LA Rams. Let's toss it to head coach Vance Joseph, who's talking live at the podium.